Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a different reading. I always felt like, there is this uncomfortable putting yourself out there type of space. Now, some of you may be completely fine. This is obviously a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but this is the type of energy that I'm feeling right now. It's you're being put in an uncomfortable situation and you're being asked, do I take that situation but remain centered, or do I stay centered in where I am right now? So it's a very a making a decision on the mood that you want to be in, no matter what chaos is happening around you. And I feel like there is a lot of basics that you need, like good food, rest, good sleep, maybe some exercise and water. Like it's really, really basic, the things that you need to do for your physical self. I also feel that this is because astrally you're doing so much. If you are a light worker, starseed, a ascended master as part of your bigger commitment, I feel like you have been reincarnated as possibly an ascended master, or you can feel ascended masters very, very heavily at this time. It doesn't matter how much you protect yourself, like you're feeling quite fatigued. And right now, you just want to do the basics like good food, water, sleep, maybe even read a good book or go for a walk around nature. Like it feels as if these next few weeks will accelerate for you, which means you are going to have to be around people, communicate, and, really be out there. And right now, you have been doing all of that, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing as much because you have been through a ton of downloads, and these downloads are kind of helping your physical body acclimatize to your new version. Now, I'm seeing a lot of twin flames who have really, truly let their twin flame go. And there are surprises about this. I feel like you're no longer clinging onto the image of what you want from your person. I feel like you've let them go with an incredible amount of unconditional love, and you are accepting where you are. You're in this level of acceptance, which doesn't mean that you're running away per se, because a lot of you have questioned that. Like, am I just running away from this person, or is this actually what I want? And I feel like you're getting a lot more specific about what you want, how you want it, what that looks like, but it's also you're trying to remain open-hearted about how you feel with yourself, and then what that means when you're attracting that type of frequency. So I don't feel like many of you have time to entertain other conversations. Like there's a lot of fear coming up in this as well. There is so much like taking a next step forward. But I also feel that you yourself in your heart space, in your third eye space, truly know what's meant for you, and you are centered in that knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. And sometimes it's been quite difficult to trust the details of the universe, like let somebody else take control. Like I feel like there might be a lot of divine feminine type of energies and the divine masculine type of energies who are struggling to let go of the control. But I feel like there is a lot more ease around letting the universe take control, letting source, letting God, work out the finer details. And it's about you right now enjoying where you are, staying centered in where you need to be. And sometimes that uncomfortable feeling will move you forward. But I disagree when people say you need to push past that feeling of uncomfortability. Same with training. Like if you go to a point where you're training and you're not listening to your body, well, that could cause an injury. But what I'm saying is you need to have a level of threshold that you increase the bar each and every time. So yes, it's good to push yourself, but not to the point where you feel genuinely uncomfortable and then you're not able to shine and blossom in the way you are. What you're doing right now is shining and blossoming in your own little sanctuary. I feel like, okay, so I had an image just then You know, when you've got Beauty and the Beast and the Red Rose, which is under this uh it's like a I want to say like a something that you put on a cake. You know what I mean, for those of you who have obviously seen Beauty and the Beast. You see the rose being nourished, right? It's like not being affected by the elements. That's what I feel like. There is a divine feminine energy right now that is feeling so overwhelmed with everything, but not in a bad way. It's just like, let me just be by myself for a while. Let me just do my own thing, be in my hermit mode. And your hermit mode really does nourish you. Like, I'm talking about those people who can be extroverts, but truly replenish through being introverted. And I feel like you really need to nourish yourself right now. You need to be kind to yourself because there is going to be a blessing. There is going to be a definite blessing for you coming up in the next few weeks. Remember, we do have the eclipse energy. And I just sent out a free newsletter. I send out one free monthly newsletter every month, which basically talks about the planetary alignments, the celestial goings on. And then I also talk about the twin flames. I do a card of the month, a song of the month, and basically it's a really good way to communicate with you guys what is coming up in the near future around the month of September. So let's go through what is going on for the divine masculine and feminines around the root chakra. And then so we've got two cards, one for the divine masculine and the feminine. So the root chakra is the Ace of Cups for the divine masculines. For the divine feminines, we've got the King of Pentacles. So I find the Ace of Cups is really interesting for the divine masculines around this root chakra because they haven't really been able to digest what they want in an emotional way. Now, root chakra really does talk about stability, safety, and security. Like when you have the things on the Maslow hierarchy of needs, when you've got fresh food, fresh water, when you've got a roof over your head, when you've got, things to take care of you, your basic needs are met, that's when you can go further and take deeper insights around spirituality, around, what truly makes you happy. Those are the things that I'm seeing that is coming in for the divine masculine. Like you were so focused on your physical success that you never really given yourself the permission to delve deeper into the realms of spirituality. But now, because we have your home life pretty much settled, I feel like you're not completely happy, but you have this level of safety, security, and stability around you, divine masculines, which means that you have this aura of uh, delving into the emotional roots of what had held you back from a committed relationship, what has held you back from being with your twin flame, because a lot of divine feminines are classified as first awakened, but there are a few divine masculines who are also first awakened. There are very few and far between, but there aren't messages directed to them in a very lengthy way, not as many as divine feminine. So if you are a divine masculine and you are a first awakened, this is incredible. And I know I have a few of you on my channel. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to be one of the people that you listen to, because I feel like your emotions are really grounding into what you want, how you feel, you know, really being secure in knowing yourself, but being open to meeting that vibrational match. This isn't about your twin flame. It's about how you want to be a better version of yourself, divine masculines, and your understanding your emotions actually makes you a better human being. It makes you a better spirit in this realm. And we've got the King of Pentacles coming up for the Divine Feminines. Now, usually I would equate the Ace of Cups as the Divine Feminine card and the King of Pentacles as the Divine Masculine card. But isn't it ironic that we have a Divine Feminine in and amongst this reading who has always been a leader, who has maybe been a single mom, who has fought to provide for their children, for their career, to sacrifice a lot of things. Like you are business owners, you are entrepreneurs, you are light workers, you are star seeds, and yet even if you are asked to tap into your divine feminine energy, you have not been told that that is okay or accepted in this society as we are in. Women had usually, and still in some states and countries, are still treated as second-class citizens. And so the divine feminine had been coerced into taking on male characteristics that would elevate them in their careers, that would help them move forward with having success in the material world. Now, a lot of divine feminines have needed to do that for themselves and for their families, which meant that they weren't able to find that safety, security, and stability within their root chakra. A lot of them have also felt abused and um, manipulated in various ways. And this has taken a big, big toll for the divine feminines who have needed to play both the divine masculine and feminine entities within this lifetime. So it's been a lot of push and pull energy for the divine feminines. The divine feminines are being told you can have it all, you can be successful, but you can also be a mother. And, what about the food and the nurturing? And how can you be a leader if you do this? And it's a very push pull energy that the divine feminines have been fighting within themselves to try and acclimatize, if you will. So the divine feminines at this moment in time, if you are identifying as a divine feminine energy, you could be either a masculine or feminine. There is no gender assignment to these energies. We embody both of these within our system. But you have felt so tired of pushing the stone up the hill and working so hard for these accomplishments. I feel like your body is telling you to slow down and really revel in where you are. Like, it doesn't mean that you're taking the foot off the gas, but it just means that maybe you can. I'm getting like a Four of Swords energy. You do need to slow down for your own wellness. What is coming up for the sacral chakra for the divine masculines? The Hierophant. Wow. Now, the Hierophant for me is this major arcana energy that is aligning with the spiritual world. So, when they've become more emotionally stable around this safety, security, root chakra energy, the sacral chakra is enhancing this energy towards the spiritual realm, towards source, towards light codes. Like, if you're a divine masculine and you're listening to this, you wouldn't be drawn to this if you didn't do the work, if you didn't go through the healing. And so, the fact that you're here just goes to show that you do exist, that we do see you, and all the work that you have been doing thus far. And there is an incredible amount of hope for the divine masculine collective. So I'm seeing that there are a few divine feminines who are really able to see good quality male role models around them. Now, they could be in your life, but they also could be detached from you. Maybe you're looking at a role model in social media, and that is terrific because it's not all men, it's not all women, it's not all twin flames. Like, these types of journeys can really skew our beliefs and our visions when we are told so much by other people. We're in an information age where we can be debilitated and overwhelmed by all of this information. But I feel that the divine masculines are detaching from this in a certain way, knowing that this is an illusion, knowing that not everything we see is what we actually see. That's the type of energy that I'm getting for the divine masculine. Like, they're using a lot of their discernment to decipher what it is they truly want to see, what other people are telling them, and what is it that they don't see? What about the divine feminines in the sacral chakra? We've got the devil energies. This is what I was feeling right at the beginning, this uncomfortable situation type of energy, this tiredness, this, you may be even feeling snappy and angry with those you love, because it just feels like you're tired, divine feminines. Like, you're so tired, and it's so exhausting to try and be there for everyone and be everything for everyone. And right now, Spirit is truly asking you to slow down, because you have been dealing, like, I feel like you have been in a batting cage and you have no bat, but the machine keeps spewing out these balls, and all you're trying to do is not get hit. You are being thrown doubts, thrown insecurities, thrown triggers, thrown traumas, thrown reminders about the twin flame. But all you can do, Divine Feminine, is just dodge the ball without any protection. Like, this is basically what I'm seeing as a vision for the Divine Feminines who are dealing with these devil energies. August has been very, very heavy for a lot of Divine Feminines, especially when you've had this cycle of triggers reoccur for you. And even when you think you're okay, you go to sleep at night and then your twin flame appears, or music triggers it, or whatever it is. It's like, how much do I need to do? I'm trying right now. I'm trying to continue to surrender. I know these are tests and I am accepting these, but I am just exhausted right now. That's the type of energy that I'm getting for the divine feminines. With the divine masculines, we have the Empress. This is what I'm saying. Listen, you guys, all of these three cards that we've got from the root, sacral, and the solar plexus chakra remind me of the divine feminine energy, which means that the divine masculines truly are aligning with their own divine masculine and feminine energies within. This is so positive. So, no wonder the divine feminines who are identifying as females feel so exhausted, because you're not doing this because you're elevating. You're doing this as a ricochet, as a mirror. Your divine masculine is elevating too, and they feel that. The more you detach, the more you understand and accept separation, the more you're helping healing your counterpart. And the divine masculines truly are understanding how to nurture themselves, how to take steps towards their intuition. And this has been a very difficult journey for the divine masculines, because they're not always taught how to nurture, how to listen to their intuition, how to listen for signs and synchronicities, and seek out spiritual advice, because they weren't taught that by anyone. They've been taught how to, provide and protect and all of these things. And when they don't live up to that par, they feel as if they failed. And the divine masculines are looking at things in a different perspective, of ways that they can provide for themselves in order to become the version that they need to be for you, divine feminines. So, as the divine feminines, you're struggling a lot lately, and it's taking a lot of effort to stay centered, but it's going to be applicable to you and only you, based on what you need at the time, how you need support. If you need chocolate, if you need to go for a walk, if you need a little bit of exercise, be kind to yourself right now, divine feminines, because you are helping level up the divine masculine, and they're feeling the fears. They may not acknowledge they're feeling the fears, but you, divine feminines, are almost doing it to alchemically soothe the rough and turbulent ride that their divine masculines could have been a lot worse and going through a lot more tougher periods. But you are helping grounding that, because you are going through a phase of alchemical balance. So you are in a higher vibrational frequency, divine feminines, but you're also trying to process this and bring it down into the physical plane. Now, your solar plexus chakra reading card is the Three of Pentacles, which I really, really do like, because the Three of Pentacles does remind me of this new foundation that you're entering. Now, I'm actually recording this at the beginning of the month, so whenever you're seeing this, it is a big tick in the box to say that you are starting your journey again. You are moving forward in a higher way. And this is giving you the peace and the transformation that what you have been doing thus far may not have been clarified in the past, but it is getting clearer that things are working out in your favor, and you are centering yourself, knowing that everything is working out, even if you don't see any signs or any confirmation in the outside world. You're truly tapping into your divine feminine energy. What about the divine masculine's heart chakra, the Three of Cups? Now, I do feel that the Three of Cups is usually about celebratory energy, but I'm feeling a degree of sadness here. I feel like there are, like the devil type of card, we've got the hermit card, we've got the like ringmaster, all kind of like raising a toast to one another. But I feel like these are different versions of the divine masculine. Like it could be the devil who we know within, it could be their ego self, it could be their higher self, it could be their younger self, all trying to vie for this pedestal, right? Where they need to center themselves. And they have a lot of regrets around this connection, around the counterpart who had probably got a lot of backlash from their triggers, from their traumas, from their keeping you at arm's distance, from not letting you in. And I think that the divine feminines who are feeling quite drained do feel tired of this journey now. And it's not that they've given up, but it's just like, can I just get a break? Can I just get a timeout right now? Because it's a lot. That's the type of energy the divine masculines are feeling around their heart space. What about the divine feminines? The Ace of Wands. Wow, because we did have this card right at the beginning, and I did allude that this was something new coming in for the divine feminines, and something that is, it's definitely going to illuminate some blessing that's coming in. I'm definitely seeing a whole host of blessings entering for the divine feminines, a new inspiration, yeah, something big is coming. I'm seeing that the spotlight is being shined upon you. I'm seeing that whatever you're focusing on, your potential, your passion, the things that really do light you up, divine feminines, what you're doing in the dark right now, what you're focusing on, even if it feels meaningless, it is so meaningful in not only alchemically balancing your energy, but it's actually this fast movement energy that is helping transmute some of the heaviness that you're going through. It's helping you transmute this into the physical plane, but it's also saying that you are being protected right now. You are understanding that your desires are truly burning, they're igniting, and they're going to be kind of like lit up like a firework, skyrocketing. And it's really giving you this um the fire lit up your butt. Like it's like you're tired, you've been in hermit energy, but it's almost like I know when the right time for action is, and I'm being intentional with it. That's the type of energy I'm getting in your heart space. For the divine masculines around the throat chakra, this is very interesting because I always associate the King of Swords with the throat, with speaking. And it's so funny because I did see the King of Swords today when I was doing a bunch of readings on TikTok. And I was wondering, I wonder what the King of Swords is on about when we look in the Cirque du Tarot. And so I'm really glad it came up in the throat chakra energy, because this is for you, divine masculines, to time to get your head in the game. Find a space where your mind feel centered, but where things are quiet, where things are still, drowning out all the white noise around you, drowning out all of the noise, focusing on something specific. So it is saying that no matter what is happening in the external environment around the divine masculines, they are being asked to be mind-centered and calm. And they're really giving themselves an opportunity to hone that skill, that focus into creating something incredible, like having a moment to shine on something that they've truly been working hard for. I feel like it's more mental mastery. Like they could be tapering on the realms of meditation, of mindfulness, of reading, how I can improve. We've already seen that happening with the Ace of Cups. If you're a divine masculine, you're listening to this, you are highly emotionally in tune. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to these readings. But you're now speaking very honestly with yourself. You're becoming way more accountable and accepting the things that now you cannot change, and willing to change the things that you can. So this is a very empowering throat chakra energy. And for the divine feminines, we've got the Ten of Cups. I absolutely love that there has been a turnaround from the beginning where everything felt so heavy in the lower chakras, where this heart chakra has ignited a new flame within you. And the Ten of Cups is coming through your throat chakra because, as I mentioned on the video on TikTok, is you're speaking the things that you want. You may not be speaking them out loud, but you are desiring them. You're calling them in. You know, you've got destinations in your mind. You've got maps. You've got places you want to visit, things you want to do. I feel like if any of you who are divine feminines who have been listening in thus far, I feel like you want to be creating your things to do before I die list. Things, my 21 wishes, for example. Like, I'm going to do this today actually because I feel a huge momentum shifting regarding these types of energies. But I also feel that the divine feminines uh, are kind of done with being helpless, and their vision of their destination, their dreams are changing a lot. And this is giving you the insight to step into an authentic, intuitive um, momentum between manifesting what you want. That's what I'm trying to say here. You are manifesting the things that you want in this reality, in this dream world. Okay, so let's have a look at the third eye chakra, which is the Tower card for the Divine Masculines, right? Isn't this funny? Because we started off really positive in usually the physical chakras, the grounding energies. You know, we've got the emotions, we've got the stability, safety, security, we've got the action cards. They were all very harmonious between the divine masculine and feminine energies. Now, for the divine masculines, we've had the speaking up about themselves, what they want, what they need, what it looks like. The Tower card is this shake up to say, your visions are not how you had planned them to be, but you're still okay and it's still always worked out for you. So how can you alter your expectations in order for you to accept what is really meant for you? And for the divine feminines, we've got the Three of Swords. I feel like a lot of you are heartbroken about missed dreams, about missed opportunities. I feel like there are some divine feminines who are probably reflecting on the things that have never been. But the divine feminines, you are being asked to revise your vision, to be specific, be a little bit more open hearted and open minded because the loss isn't truly a loss. It is a revision for you to be open to bigger things. It's 444, just as I said that. So, the Divine Masculine's crown chakra energy, the Page of Pentacles, there are going to be new downloads for the Divine Masculines. They are coming in for the Divine Masculines. And for the Divine Feminines, the Justice card. Now, justice will prevail for the both of you for this connection, for what you've been through together and individually, because this wasn't meant to be a punishment. The divine masculines are stepping into accepting what gifts are coming in this moment. And as a divine feminine, the justice card is saying that your needs will always come out on top because you have this overall energy that whatever's for the highest and best good, let that come. So winning is such a weird and wonderful thing. It's more of a feeling than a knowing. It was never about the end goal. It was always about the journey for you. So the scales are tipping in your favor. They were tipping in your favor, but it didn't feel like it when you were going through a lot of struggle, a lot of accumulative lessons. And it just seemed like it was cycle after cycle after cycle. And it feels as if like the balance and the scales are tipping right now, especially in the cosmic order, but you're not going to know if you've actually won or if you've lost, but there will be an attitude shift based on what you've been through. And I feel like the way you approach things now means that you are a clear winner. You have been a winner because you've accepted the version of you that has brought you here. You know, it's not just saying I accept all the things that has made me who I am. You're becoming the version of you that allows yourself to expand this new energy, this new vibration, And that's the type of win that you're going to come across in subtle ways that you didn't even know were changing. And it was happening on such a cataclysmic way. And they were just changing in the background, like slot by slot, page by page, piece by piece. And for the divine masculines, they're not in any rush or urgency regarding speeding up the process of this preparation stage. Like they know they have a tower moment coming up, but they are continually being asked to stay centered around that chaos, be deliberate, be centered, be slow. And it's being mindful, intentional about those actions. So that was a very detailed reading about what's happening right now. If this resonated, please use your amazing magic and click that like button and let me know if it resonated. If you didn't want to write a comment, send an emoji on how you felt regarding this reading. I always love hearing from you, and I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.